So FNAF released a new trailer for their upcoming game, Secret of the Mimic. And right now I have two wolves inside of me. One of them is saying, "Yippee, new FNAF game." The other one's saying, "Oh god, dude, the depression hurts. Being alone is too much. Death is the only escape." It's it's also saying that the new FNAF game kind of has me feeling mixed. While I'll always welcome a new FNAF game, the recent choices that Steel Wool has decided to go in has me questioning whether I'll like the game or not. I'll buy the game regardless. Like, it's not a question of if I will. Like, I'll buy anything with the FNAF name on it. I mean, I went through all the effort of trying to download FNAF World on Steam. But the thing that has me concerned is the date that this game seems to be set in, 1979. Now, I've always had an issue with studios going back and retconning certain events from older series, like how Star Wars has been doing a lot of stuff with like the Acolytes and how that's supposed to be set 100 years before the prequels. And I just hate it when a studio does that because like they're adding this stuff that we're told, hey, this has always been happening in the background, but you never knew it. And even Game Theory had this point too, and I got so excited when I saw that.
It always feels a bit wrong when a prequel introduces a new character. So then, why try to awkwardly insert the Mimic into the previous lore? I mean, retcon much?
Took the words right out of my mouth, dude. I hate it when series do this. They'll introduce a character and expect us to care about it, putting it like in the past when we know like the event of what's going to happen. So we know that their character does not matter in the grand scheme of things until a certain point of time. Like why have the Mimic at like the very start of the series? What's the purpose of that? Like there you have it set to be like around during Fazbear Entertain or Fredbear's Family Diner, but why? Like we never heard of the Mimic until Ruin, so why set its origin all the way back then? Like at that time, there was nothing like supernatural going on, so why would they create a mimicking animatronic in like a realistic sense? Because Henry and William would have had no use for this because back then they were still using like spring lock suits or like handmade suits. So why would they create a robot that mimics everything? Like I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like the Mimic to begin with when it was introduced in Ruin. I thought they should have just stuck with the Burn Trap storyline, but that's whatever. It's their game; they can do whatever they want. But they need to stop going back and like trying to retcon stuff. I haven't read any of the Tales of the Pizzaplex books, but apparently like the one story, Didophobia, wherever it is, says that FNAF 1 through 4 like never happened, or FNAF 1 through Sister Location. I don't know. I didn't read it, so I don't fucking know. But like, why do that? Like the canonicity of those books is wonky, but the fact that like they're adding so much stuff to the games, a lot of people consider them like full canon to the series. So like details like that, it's just like why the fuck would you add that? Because it just pisses people like me. I mean, people like me. I don't even know if anyone else feels this way. Like from what I see online, everyone's fucking celebrating the Mimic like it's the best thing ever. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on this island of hating the Mimic. Hey, so post editing here, while I was trying to find examples of people absolutely losing their shit over the Mimic, I actually found a lot of examples of people hating the Mimic. Turns out I'm not alone. There's a lot of people that also agree that he's like a weak concept, that he's a lazy excuse for not wanting to bring back Afton. He was poorly handled, he kind of broke the lore. It's all stuff that I agree with, so it's nice seeing that I'm not actually alone with hating the Mimic. But I still, this dude gets way more love than he really deserves, so my point still kind of stands. But not just the Mimic, dude, like the book series as a whole. Like Fazbear Frights and like the original trilogy, like those weren't directly connected to the games. They had bits that filled in holes. Fazbear Frights, I don't really think like they had anything. I think Into the Pit had the 1985 date as the missing kids incident. That's where we got that date from. But like as far as I know, none of the Fazbear Frights books really affected the story of the games. But now here comes Tales of the Pizzaplex, and it's like, oh, this happened. This is all canon to the game. Oh, God, I feel like I'm getting like way off track from just this simple trailer. It's more like a rant about the Mimic in books. But yeah, I feel like Steel Wool needs to stop like going back into the past, especially with Fredbear's. Apparently, they said in an interview like they would love to go back and explore the past with Fredbear's and like the origins and everything. But like, there's the whole mystery behind it is more interesting than telling us what happened. Because with this whole, with Five Nights at Freddy's as a whole, is about mystery. Like nobody knows anything, and it's fun to like figure out and like have your own interpretation of what happened. But then there's like, all right, let's explore the past and do this. And I don't even know if Scott has like any say in what's happening. Like he's saying like, oh, needs to happen. This is happening. This is what happened at Fredbear's. Like this is based off of people that didn't create the original story. Well, I have no issue with them taking over. I mean, Scott entrusted them with the story. They should just leave the past to the past. Everything from Ultimate Custom Night backwards, like just leave that alone. That was already a perfect story. Why don't you just build off that story? You've been given a clean slate to make your own story, and you're just going back and retconning all this stuff. Like the hell is happening with Cassie right now? Like I care more about what the fuck's going on with Cassie and Gregory and the Mimic in current days. I don't care about what happened in the past. I really don't care about the origins of the Mimic too. I mean, in a sense, I don't care about it. In a in a way, they do need to describe where the Mimic comes from. But why did it have to be like all the way back in the years of Fredbear's Family Diner? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking a lot of this, and the great game was going to be great. I'm certainly going to buy it. I'll definitely have to judge for myself. Maybe this game can change my opinion on it. Maybe it'll be a good game. Maybe it'll have a good backstory, and maybe it'll have Fredbear Family Diner, and it'll be interesting. I don't know. Only time can tell, but I don't know. My opinion on this game right now, not looking good. I can definitely be persuaded to feel different ways, but for the time being, I'm not really liking this new game. But I'll just have to wait and see what the game has in store. Till then, peace.